Crazy update. I mean, we were waiting for this. It's phase 2. You know, all the videos on YouTube where I'm saying phase 2 would destroy this, etc. This is phase 2. So let's see. Let's see what the masterminds of behavior have come up with. As we all know, they are super killer bias. They only care for killer. They don't care about survivor. And survivor is super weak, and killers just win easily, even when you're good with survivor, etc. Right? All the narratives. Obviously, we all know that when you're good at survivor, you just dominate. But yeah, especially in a 4-man. The 9.2.0 update arrives next week, so let's check out the notable gameplay changes you can expect for the public test build. Plus, stay tuned for next week's PTB patch notes, where we'll share the precise values that are changing for each of the topics below. Slugging reduction update. If a survivor is left in the dying state for a total of 90 seconds during a match, they gain the ability to pick themselves up after fully recovering. Didn't they try something like this? I don't think they did the 90-second thing. That's insane. So basically, if you do slug someone for pressure, you need to memorize 90 seconds, because if you leave them long enough, they're going to get up. At the same time, they're probably going to move away from where you were. So if you can't find them, because, you know, people slugged, sometimes it's quite hard to find them, they're going to get up as well. So, and also, because survivors don't need to actually go and pick them up, survivors run gens more consistently. Because obviously slugging, tunneling, even camping to an extent, brings people off gens to try and help the survivors. If they could just do it alone, then where's the teamwork, right? Read more. I'm just relax. Added the option to enable or disable this mechanic in custom games. That's for comp, because they know it's stupid. They're doing that because they know that this is really stupid, like for when people are playing good. Comp will obviously disable this. Perks that enable you to recover from the die state, like Boon Exponential, will continue to function as before without needing to meet this requirement. Wait, what? Oh, okay, the 90-second requirement, I guess. Gradually increases crawling speed for survivors who are left in a dying state. Oh, wow. Whoa. Is that talking about Boon Exponential? Is that just talking about in general? Because they just talked about Boon Exponential randomly, and then I think they went back onto something else in general. Why? Oh, actually, that's what they do in it. They don't just do one little change and realize there's a ripple effect in games. They do millions of different things, don't they? I forgot. God, we're going to say, why have they done this and this? Because, like, test this first or something. Added the ability for survivors to recover while crawling. What? Recover now occurs passively with no need. What the fuck? That's another perk given to the survivors for free. Wait, that's a perk, innit? That's a perk. They've got another perk for free. Update several survivor and killer perks to account for these changes. Yeah, I'm sure you have, yeah. Well, there's another perk for free, I guess. Cool. So what's that? You've got borrowed time, unbreakable. What's the one where you jump off for free? What would you call that? I guess that's not even a survivor, it's just something even more in it. Tenacity. But it gets worse. Mad. Absolutely mad. But you know, super killer biased devs, right? Can you remember? I think there's been 2 times where the community of DBD's lost the shit, and it's when killers got about equal as good changes as survivors. And they were like, wow, this is so killer favored patch. It's crazy. There's only like 2 times where I think killer has had just as good stuff as Survivor in a patch, from my recollection. Right, so yeah, passive recover while crawling, because, you know, once again, this game is like super killer bias, super killer favored. Like, you have no chance of winning killer, you know, even when you're amazing at Survivor, etc. That's insane. I can't believe they've... This is insane. Oh, this is insane. Like, the 90... It's still insane that they're even doing this, because they don't need it. They've got Unbreakable, they've got Perks. You know how people like, if you don't want gens to go quick, why don't you use Gen Defense? It's your fault if you don't use Gen Defense perks. It's weird how with Killer, you need to use Gen Defense perks, but with Survivor, you don't need to use Unbreakable because you're just giving it. You don't need to use DS because, you know, etc., etc. Like, there is perks for this stuff. There's perks for this stuff. It's just now they get it at base so they can use more perks. Whatever. But as I was saying, like, the 90 seconds, even though it's ridiculous because they've got Unbreakable and things, you know, it's not too... It's still fucking ridiculous, and I hate even nearly agreeing with this because they don't need it. But if they are thinking that, oh no, you know, I'm not going to agree with it. They don't need it. They have teammates to pick them up, for fuck's sake. I can't even agree with it. Even 90 seconds I can't agree with. And that's without all of this. Just 90 seconds I can't agree with. You have fucking teammates. Like, it's literally just going to be like one person for themselves eventually, this game. Like, all the survivors are just going to be like powerhouses and could do everything by themselves. Fucking hell. Whatever. But yeah, and then they've added even more crazy shit, because why not? Devno. When it comes to slugging, we know it can be frustrating if you're on the receiving end of it too often or for too long. But we also know that sometimes it's a smart move. Right. You know it's a smart move, but you're going to destroy the kind of slugging strategy. Make it make sense. The updated system acknowledges this. How? They move quicker and get up for free and recover while moving. What are you acknowledging? Look at that crawl speed. I know. It's insane. It's insane. That's default crawl speed there. And that's how you start going when you've been on for a while. Look at that. That's like crouch walking, guys. That's like crouch walking. It might be faster than crouch walking. It might be walking. They're fucking insane. They're insane. But, as I said, all the content creators around DBD, they're all politicians. It's all, oh, Survivor mains, and oh, new players to Survivor. Oh, we need to think about them. We need to think about them, guys. They don't give a shit. They just know that's what people want to hear. Like, you know, apologizing for tunneling and stuff. It's so fake, dude. In my opinion, at least. Like, obviously people have different brains, but if I was doing that, I'd be fake as fuck, because apologizing to my opponent for tunneling them, it's just the weirdest shit. Updated system acknowledges this. No, it doesn't. Allowing the killer to slug occasionally when they feel like it's a right call, but they won't get anything for it. They won't get anything for it, you fucking idiots. You stupidly detached, incompetent dev team. You just don't get it, do you? Like, if you slug someone and you're doing it for pressure, what fucking pressure are you getting when they can just crawl away and get up? The team can just stay on gens. You're not getting any pressure. They could just stay on gens. They could be like, oh, he's slugging that guy. Well, we could just do gens because he can get up. Like, oh my god. Detached and incompetent in insulting gear. They are detached and incompetent. Does this look like they are in line and competent? That's not insulting. This is literally, they are incompetent. How are they not? Look at this. It blows my mind how much they're destroying this game, because they just seem to have this narrative, seem to have this belief that Survivor is so difficult in DBD. Oh my God, Survivor is so difficult, man. Such a difficult role. You can play amazing as Survivor and still lose. When? When can you play amazing as Survivor and lose? Please show me. Please show me. I want to see that game where you're playing amazing with Survivor and lose. It doesn't happen. When you play good with Survivor, you dominate. Fucking weird. But yeah, apparently their updated system acknowledges that, you know, it's important to use strategy with killer. Sure thing. Allows the killer to slug occasionally when they feel... It won't do anything. This updated system acknowledges allows the killer to slug occasionally when they feel like it's the right call, but it will eventually kick in and swing in the survivor's favor if slugging is used excessively. Right. What would be the difference between slugging excessively or slugging when it's like the right call? The survivor's going to get up. The survivor's going to move away. The survivor's going to... the only thing you could think is that one survivor you're slugging, they're not going to be on a gen while they're slugged. But the only way you're going to get use from this, and you still won't. They're doing it like this, look, right? If you down someone who went for a hook save, right? And then you tunnel a person off the hook, usually in the current version of DBD, the survivor would be in chase. There'd be another one down. There'd be the two on gens. One of them people on gens would have to get off the gen and pick up the person. That's what you'd have to do. But now, they could just leave them and stay on gens. So you've gone from one person having to be on a gen, on like the current like version, to two people can now be on gens. So it just means faster gens. On average, it just means faster gens. You know how gens are like super slow and not like 2 times, maybe even 3 times faster to complete than the killer's objective? That. Fucking mad, dude. A big part of this is also about making the experience of being slugged more pleasant. This game is literally designed for survivors, guys. It's designed for survivors. Last time I played... I mean, I just play Survivor now on DBD, if you haven't been watching. The last time I played DBD, I said... when you play Survivor, it feels like you're playing a game made for you. When you play Killer, it feels like you're trying to force a game that isn't made for you. It doesn't feel like it's made for you. When you find a build, nerfed. When you find a strong strategy, nerfed. But when you play Survivor, it's just consistently like, oh, is this a bit problematic for you? Does this give you a bit of a bad experience? Don't worry, we'll try and fix it. So even if you play the worst you possibly can, and the killer plays the best they possibly can, you're still going to be in a better situation because we're going to try and figure out how to make this more pleasant for you. It's all about survivors, this game. And it fucking blows my mind how, because the majority of people play Survivor, they gaslight everyone into believing, oh no, it's about killers. Like when? When I read these patch notes, it's like, how do you read these patch notes and be like, this game is definitely catered for killers. The devs definitely care about the killer's experience. Do they even talk about any of the killer experience in this? Or is it all about survivor experience? Because I haven't seen them talk about killer experience yet. Anyway, a big part of this is about making the experience of being slugged more pleasant, as much as being slugged can be, at least. Right. The recovery changes and crawling speed will give you a bit more agency when down, so you won't just holding a button and waiting for someone to come to save you. Like, you mean like a teammate? Like a team game? where you have teammates and the killer does stuff like slugging to push people off gens so they can be in chase, have someone on the floor, and get someone off a gen. So there's only one person on a gen, which slows down the gens because it's strategy. You mean that? Fucking mad. Tunneling reduction update. When a survivor is hooked, their hook status is hidden from the killer. When they're unhooked, there is no notification and their hook status isn't revealed immediately. What is going on? This phase 2 might be worse than I was thinking. Also, do they not realize what the full tunnel is? The full tunnel is the killer waiting at the hook. So this won't do anything to actual proper tunnelers. This just hurts people who are strategic. Like, the explosion of a hook gives you information as a killer. I know you don't like giving any information to the killer, but you literally give a UI what tells every little thing to Survivor. But once again, you know, killer bias. Super killer bias game, guys. When you hear the explosion of the hook, you get information for the killer, and you know one person's got off the hook and another survivor's there. So you know where two survivors are. So even if you don't go over there, you have information subconsciously stored where you know location, where survivors could be. You can work out what gens they go to. It don't matter. I'm not going to play killer much anymore anyway. But you work out what gens they what are around there, and you can work out all that kind of, like, you get this kind of like subtle information given what you can memorize as killer. But once again, the devs don't get it, and they think not having the explosion is something to do with tunneling. What do you want about? Tunneling is when a killer literally is going to like hang around a hook. Wait, what else will it do? The hook status is hidden from the killer. When they're unhooked, there's no notification. The hook status is... Oh, wow. They need to keep staring at them. They need to stare at them. It doesn't even show... It like, not even, obviously, the explosion, but it doesn't even show that they've got off the hook yet when they're already off the hook. Wow. That's the opposite of what the survivors are getting. Survivors are getting specific information, and we're getting misinformation. Actually, disinformation. It's purposefully giving us What the fuck? It's giving us disinformation on our UI as killer. The survivors are getting everything on UI, and we're getting disinformation. Our UI is telling us the wrong information. This is fucking gold. Killer bias game, guys. Killer bias. Super killer bias game, guys. How are Survivor mains gonna super bias like people towards Survivor, or the politicians towards Survivor? How are they gonna just like read this and be like, yep, this sounds good. Good changes. The devs definitely are killer bias, or definitely care about both sides. Okay, this was good. This is good to read. This is making me laugh like crazy. This was insane. Am I dreaming? Is this real? And you say I'm insulting saying they're detached. Like, come on. They are. How is this not detached? This is fucking insane. Look how much there is. I haven't read it all yet. Look how much there is. There's so much to read. Just that first part is insane, and it's all this. Fucking hell. This is what happens when all the kind of like influence around DBD is either politicians or survivors. No one actually telling like the devs good information before they just ruin everything. Good job, guys. This is disabled once all generators are completed. Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, that's very nice. Unhooked survivors gain the following effect. Wait, they get more? They get more stuff. Is it going to say they get more? They get 10 seconds invulnerability and 10% more speed. They get more stuff. Unhooked survivors gain the following effect for a limited time. Haste, endurance, and elusive. They get something new? Wait. No collision with other players, both killer and survivor. What the fuck? They could go... How long? Immunity to killer instinct. The fuck is point of some of the perks we have? What about Legion? Legion's going to be going for frenzy, and then the person off the hook's just invisible. So he can't even hit 4 frenzies. Fucking hell. This is so weird. Well, how long for? It has to be longer than 10 seconds, by the way, because they already had this for 10 seconds. So it's going to be longer than 10 seconds, you know? Wow. Immunity to killer instinct and sees the killer's aura. What the fuck? They see the killer aura as well? This is insane. These effects are lost when the affected survivor perform a conspicuous action. Oh my god, it's like off the record. All these effects, except haste and endurance, are disabled once all generators are completed. Yeah, I would think so, devs. I would think so. That actually might be the best change they've done so far. I think they've made it where the free escapes aren't a thing anymore. I might be reading too much into it, but they might have actually understood. Wait. Oh, no. Never mind. Never mind. They've kept it. It's the free escape thing still. They kept haste and endurance. My bad. My bad. Yeah. Never mind. Almost, devs. Almost. You almost made me believe you were kind of caring about killer. Almost. Until I realized, no, you like the completely free escapes. Like, you know that they get free escapes, devs. They get free escapes. Like, why do you have this end game? It's free escapes with no counterplay. Added unique effect to the killer hook state UI that indicates the last survivor they hooked. A unique effect to the killer's hook state UI that indicates the last survivor they hooked. What? I don't get that. I'm not gonna lie. After completing a unique hook, the same survivor is not hooked consecutively. Killers get the following benefits. Okay. This is going in the right direction. All this other stuff is really fucking stupid, but this is going in the right direction. This is actually what I've said, guys. They won't do the right things, I don't think, but this is actually the right direction. This is surprising to see. This, if they were doing stuff like this, I'd say, you know what? They're actually starting to understand a bit. Yeah. If you get a unique hook, not the same survivor, you should get benefits. You are using the carrot, not the stick on the killer. That is how you do it. You incentivize healthy play. This is actually a good idea. It's what I've said, so obviously I'm going to agree with it, but, you know, it is a good idea. Bonus damage for the next generator kick. Nah, that's no. Temporary haste status effect. How long? Is it 5 seconds? That won't do anything. Temporary reveals survivors who basically barbecue in Chile that have less or equal hook states to the hook survivor. Okay. These effects are slightly lessened for the Blight, the Dark Lord, the Ghoul, the Hillbilly, and the Nurse. Not Spirit? Interesting. I'd say Spirit's stronger. I'd say Spirit's stronger than Dark Lord. But sure. These effects are disabled once all generators are completed. I need to know the variables. If these variables are completely whack, which they probably are, it's going to be kind of pointless. And honestly, it's probably not big enough. Like, if I was in control, after a unique hook, I'd kind of like lessen a lot of the gen defense stuff because I don't think perks in gen defense is interesting at all, and we've had it for so long. But my idea were, when you hook someone unique who hasn't been hooked before, you get a map-wide regression. I don't know what percentage, but a map-wide regression, and all the gens it hits just are regressing from that. That would be an incentive, just that in itself. All this don't care about, that one thing, that would be an incentive to make me want to go for fresh hooks, because it actually rewards me for doing it, and it actually slows the gens enough, which allows me to continue to do it and get wins by successfully doing it. So that was my idea quite a while ago. But this is definitely the best angle they've got. So golf clap. It's probably going to be completely useless shit, but this is a good angle. They need to keep pushing it. Oh, now they're going with a stick. Well, I mean, they've already done a lot of the stick anyway. You only need a carrot. You don't need the stick, devs. I keep telling you this, but... Added new effects that disincentivize tunneling. If a survivor dies before 6 total hook states... What? Wow, okay. Wow. That's not even a tunnel at that point, is it? Shouldn't it be free? Why is it 6? Do they know what a tunnel is? I'm very confused. I'm very, very confused. They say anti-tunnel and then say 6 hook states.
You get to keep that and lickage. Thank you. I've got his much tear. Appreciate.
How can you tunnel with 6 hook states? That doesn't make any sense. I'm very confused. Are they dropping the mask here a bit? Is the mask being dropped? I don't know why they said 6. This sounds like some survivor main. Being like, you're tunneling me if you go after me straight after you go after someone else. It's a tunnel. I'm so confused. How is that a tunnel? A tunnel is putting someone on a hook and then waiting until they get off the hook and then going after them again. Yeah. Have they made another... Can you give me a scenario where you get... if you kill a survivor before 6 hooks, can you give me a scenario how you're tunneling? They need 3 hooks to die. So are they saying 5 hooks? That's still weird though. Oh my god, oh my god, this is terrible. All remaining survivors gain a repair speed bonus for the rest of the trial. So just passively... Dude, as killer, you're literally going to try and memorize who not to go for. Yikes. I'm going to have to... Well, I'm not going to. I won't play killer with this, and I've kind of slowed down anyway. But you're going to have to...
and lickage. Thank you. I've got his much tear. Appreciate.
Rage and do. Think of the 20... Noxus to give the 52 months as well. You'd have to use coin tech not to actually give yourself an advantage, but to also to actually give survivors the advantage, because you need to memorize which one you've hooked to ignore them. And you'd have to do it outside of the game because there's no UI for killer for this stuff. Absolutely insane. Killer bias game, by the way, guys. I assure you, that is the narrative. The devs are very, very biased, and it's a killer favored game. I don't know how the fuck people eat it up, but they do. If the survivor was last hooked, if the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed or killed, generators cannot be regressed or blocked. Wow, it's getting even crazier. Wait. You cannot go after the same survivor 2 times in a row when they're on death hook. They have 4 gens done, and you need a kill. But you go for that kill and get fucked for it. This is fucking insane. Insane. Phase 2, man. Phase 2.
You get skill camot and Lickish. Thank you. I forgot to use watching tear. Appreciate it.
Oh fucking hell! This is
I ain't playing anymore.
This is gold. This is gold, man. Well, I just play Survivor. Survivor just has your cake and eat it. If you're actually good at Survivor, holy fuck, is this a piss-easy game? The only people you're really going to have a trouble with is like the super S-tier killers, like Blight, who basically has no counterplay at a lot of places and just hits you. But it works, and it's still balanced because you can gem rush him, even though he can down you instantly at every chase near enough. You can still win. Added the option to enable or disable these mechanics in custom games. Yep, once again, they realize how ridiculously stupid this is, and comp players will not enable all of this. That's why they've done that. They have done that for that, Like, I'm not just guessing. They've 100% done this because they know how stupid this shit is for comp players, for good players. They know how stupid it is. So they've done this so the comp players can be like, yeah, we're not going to have this stuff. 100%. Like, I'm 100%, not even 99%. They've done it for comp. Updated several survivor and killer perks to account for these changes. Dev note. Devs are going to tell us how bad it is for Survivor, and it's like not fun, and it needs to be more fun for Survivor and things, right? Is that what you're going to do? Let's see, because you just did that last time. It's no secret that tunneling can be seen as an efficient way to play for killers. You are correct. It isn't just tunneling, though. Just tunneling is too easy. It's too obvious and too easy to beat. But using strategy to go for people who are on death hook over someone who isn't when there's 1 gen left, I mean, you kind of need to do it or you physically can't win. So, yeah, it's definitely efficient. While this can be true, it's also true that the results of this can be frustrating for survivors. There it is. Leading to trials ending too quickly for some. Why is that, devs? Why do some of these survivors get out of the trials really quickly? Why do you think it is when they get tunneled? Why do you think that is? Probably because they're not very good. There is outliers, a Blight, one of the top killers where you give very little counterplay. But about 80% of the killers, you can pretty much, if you get tunneled by them, you can pretty much win the whole match because of it. That much focus on one survivor when there's 3 others doing gens will just hurt the killer if the survivor's good. But yeah. Leading to trials ending too quickly for some, while leaving others to fend for themselves in a match that is now much more difficult. Yeah. What about the difficulty for the killer devs? What about the fact that the killer's objective physically cannot be done quick enough for the survivors? Well, the killer's objective takes way too long compared to the survivors. What about that difficulty? Or do you not believe that? Do you think it's make-believe? You believe that tunneling one survivor gives you a free win, but you think it's make-believe that the killer can't hook, 10 times before 5 gens are done. I guess so, right? The killers are just like in make-believe land, and they don't, what they're saying isn't real, but the survivors crying about, you know, going down too quick, that's because of a killer tactic and not because they're not good at looping or whatever. Like, it's insane. They literally have balanced this game on killer tactics, and then they're going to make it where essentially the black and white of this, if you don't, there's a lot of people in the replies are praising those. Of course they are. It's a killer biased. Sorry. Well, I mean, yeah, if I'm joking, I'm saying killer biased. But if I'm not joking, it's super survivor biased, super. It's just, I mean, you know it, guys. Like, you know it. You've seen me when I've played Survivor. We fucking dominate even in a current form. Unless it's like Blight, for example. Even Blight, though, he didn't always win. And he's fucking well strong. Yeah, this is just insane. I don't know. But let's keep going. The intention here... Oh, wait, did I read all of it? Oh, yeah. The intention here is for both roles to feel the benefits and incentives that come from spreading hook states. On the one end, survivors have better opportunities, have better opportunities to evade and reset after unhooks, while also limiting those tough situations where losing a survivor too quickly causes things to go south quickly and snowball. You're talking from just the survivor's point of view. You've done it again. I know you're trying not to anymore because people are calling you out on this, but you've just done it again. You've just done it again. Limiting those tough situations where losing a survivor too quickly causes things to go south and snowball. Like, you're talking just from the survivor end. Maybe here is the killer, let's see. On the other end, killers are able to apply more map pressure and push back against efficient teams, covering ground post-hook and strengthening gen regression. They're definitely trying not to be as much us versus them. By the way, I've noticed on these patch notes, they've been smarter with the wording. If you look back in the past, you'll actually laugh how bad the wording is. It's literally like just talking from survivor point of view. How is gen regression strengthened if they completely remove it? They're basically saying this thing here. God, you're gonna need to. This insane. You're gonna, as killer, you have to jump through hoops. I said this before as well. You have to jump through hoops when you play killer on DBD. And you're going to have to jump through even more hoops now. So what do you need to do again? You need to make sure that... where is it? There it is. So you need to make sure that a survivor doesn't die before you get 6 hooks. And you also need to make sure that you don't go after a survivor 2 times in a row if it's their death hook. You need to literally jump through hoops, or you're going to get fucked. It's crazy. People who genuinely won't be trying to tunnel will be getting hit with this if they don't memorize hook states. It will happen. If you don't memorize who you're going against, you will get hit by this. If you don't memorize who you're going against, you will get hit by this. If there's 2 people with the same skin or something, you will get hit by this. You will get hit by this. You need to actually memorize. As killer, you need to babysit the survivors and memorize to make sure you don't hit these. It says that the UI shows you who got hooked last. Oh, yeah. That's why they added that. I wondered why they said that. Where did they say that? They said a new thing. There it is. I wondered what they're on about here. Yeah, okay. So when you see that, you need to purposely avoid that target. Dude, you fucking... Not only are the devs holding their hand now, killer is. You see that shit? Not only are the devs holding the hand of these people, you have to, as killer now, you have to hold their hand. Or that person's outpositioned on death hook. Oh, but I just hooked them. I need to just leave them alone. Wait, what if they're on a gen? Wait. They get off the hook and they just go onto a gen right next to the hook. You just have to leave them. There's a gen at 90% or 80%, let's say, and you hook someone after you get them off it, and then that person gets off the hook and just goes straight back to that gen and finishes it. You can't hit them, because if you hit them and they're on death hook, or no, you can't kick any more gens ever again. Or block them. Oh no, shit! Holy fuck, this is even worse. It's not even kicking. It's every single gen regression or gen blocking perk. It's not just kicking. It's everything. I just realized. Oh man, that's so crazy. This is insane. I can't believe this. This is crazier than what I expected. And I was expecting some crazy shit, you know. There is so many holes in this. I've probably haven't even found all of them. There's so many holes. Alright, they've given Survivor another new thing, by the way. Elusive. Added a new status effect that silences the grunts of pain and suppresses Survivor aura, pools of blood, and scratch marks. This is insane. Alright, this is insane. So they've give fuckloads of shit to survivors who have got unhooked, and then they've massively punished Killer if he decides to go for them. Like, holy fuck. That's a lot of shit. Oh, man. And then they say, oh, you lose it with conspicuous actions. Yeah, but the killer can't go after them again or they get punished. So who cares? Wow. Fucking hell. This has been funny. To start, we'll be using the new status effect as a part of the tunneling reduction update. We're planning on integrating this into relevant existing perks down the road to make the descriptions more streamlined. Arguably, the easiest way to look at this is a survivor version of undetectable, in that when it's active, you know you're in stealth mode. Wow. Oh, Sag. I didn't want them to touch Myers, but they have. I thought Myers would be in a good place. But loads of people put him as like D tier on the tier list, don't they? And you know, tier lists are not objective. They're not. Sorry, they're objective things, right? Not subjective, apparently. Especially on DBD, where everyone just copies everyone. Like, no one has their own fucking mind about anything, pretty much. So they all just put the same fucking characters in the same places over and over again. They ruined Myers, did they? Oh, that's so sad. I really liked Myers. He was all right as well. He wasn't the best killer by far, but he was solid, man. He was massively underrated in my opinion. The issue will kind of loop design, not the actual killer himself. So, yeah. Updated the Tomes menu to... I don't give a shit about that. Shape. So let's see, what is this? Okay, that's a bigger launch. Interesting. Replaced Evil Within with 2 modes that can be toggled with a button press. Stalker mode, 4.2 movement speed, undetectable, and can stalk survivors. Right. Pursuer mode, 4.6, 24-meter terror radius, increase of vault speed, bonuses to lunge range, break speed, and stun recovery, and cannot stalk survivors. Right. Once the stalk meter is full, evil incarnate mode can be triggered at will, granting the following effects for a limited time. Oh, wow, it don't expose them anymore? Fucking hell. Oof. Ooh. So he's like the pig. It almost looks like the pig, this. The dash. Ugh. That's not cool. I feel a bit sad, man. The devs are really ruining this game. And I think a lot of kind of content creators and influencers and stuff, I think because they are like politicians and they're trying to appease new Survivor players so much, I think they really hurt in this game, man. Like, if they actually just told the truth, even if it hurts their reputation or hurts their look with, you know, their audience, what they've amassed, this like brainless, like casual survivors who were completely brainwashed into thinking this game's killer favored and the devs are killer biased. If they just like said the realities to some of these people and the devs heard this stuff more, I don't know if they'd go this crazy with shit. But it is what it is. I'm only one person. I'm only one voice. It's way too small in the aspect of everything. And the way to get really big on DBD is basically be massively pro Survivor, right? Say how hard it is for Survivor all the time. Say that they, you know, all this weird shit. Once the stalk meter is full, evil incarnate mode can be triggered at will, blah, blah, blah. No, so you don't get exposed anymore, yeah. Movement speed, increased vol, yeah. Unlock slaughtered strike ability. Hold the button down to charge the ability, reducing movement speed. It just sounds like pig, yeah. Just the same idea as pig. You just put pallets down, shift W. Yep. It might be better than pig. But you get the slow down, which obviously hurts. That's when they can hold forward. Not very interesting. Press the attack button while charging to quickly lunge forward. Adjust your angle as you move. The length of the lunge depends on the charge time. Yeah. If a survivor enters the killer's attack range when lunging, they are knocked into a dying state. Oh, okay, so it does insta-down you. It does insta-down you, I think. Yeah, it does insta-down you. So it's better than pigs. And it could also destroy pallets. Oh, this is way better than pigs. Way better than pigs. Holy shit. So you get the slaughtering strike ability when you're full evil incarnate. So you need to waste a lot of time here, though. So you need to waste time doing Stalker. Moving slower for some reason. Well, you are undetectable, though. Okay. Oops. Okay, so he still does have that. I just don't know why the mood has changed him. And he can also destroy pallets. So, yeah, this is way stronger than Pig, I think. Unlocks the ability to grab and kill or perform a regular Mori on survivors who would die in the next time they would... Okay, yeah. Adjusted some of the mechanics of Stalk and remove the limited pool of Stalk per survivor. Reduce the Stalk range to 32 meter. Wow! That's big. They're weird. So they made it where Myers gets his Stalk like the best when they're really far away. But now they've made it where they can't be real. I mean, it still is quite far, I guess. But it is weird. Like, why reduce it? Don't get that. I don't make it. This change doesn't make sense to me. Moving while stalking has increased movement speed, but incurs a reduced stalk rate. Okay. And then reworked his add-ons. They've got rid of Tombstone, obviously. Oh, there's the clown. Okay, so they've just looking quickly at Clown. They've nerfed the 1 second. It's probably 2 second now. So now he's just 2% faster. So maybe the people won't cry about him now. I don't know. Dev note, by moving away from the linear evil within tiers, we wanted to give players more tools they can use to adapt to each trial's unique situations while keeping the core of what makes him the shape. Slaughtering Strike makes for a high threat offensive attack, offering up an instant opportunity with an extended lunge that's particularly effective at loops and for ripping through pallets quickly. Understanding his kit has changed quite a lot. We've done a pass on nearly all his add-ons. God, Myers is gone. Like he looks like he might be all right like this. It's just, oh, that's sad. I don't think he needed to go. That's sad. Myers were cool. In particular, those who prefer his old playstyle, freeing up tuft of hair, will change Evil Cornet to function like old Myers. Oh, okay. Offer an exposed effect and no slaughtering strike. Stay tuned for the patch notes with the full details. Okay, well at least they've got Fragrant Tuft to play him like old school. I like that idea. It's going to be a weaker version of him though, I bet. Which is weird because he's already like mid tier. So why would you make him weaker? But I guess we'll see. But that's at least nice. No one asked for this. I don't know who asked for this, yeah. Maybe behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes, guys. Have I gone over the new anti-tunnel mechanic? Yeah, I've been laughing my ass off of this. It's insane. Increased activation time of the... Well, I mean, I read that, didn't I? And then increase how long the after-piece tonic hindered effect lingers after leaving smoke. Yeah, because they nerfed the fuck out of his slowdown, so... We've heard your feedback that Clown's easy to activate haste can make instigating and maintaining chases less interactive for survivors. Right. Now, coupled with nerfs to his purple bottles, has pushed players towards this frustrating tactic. Right. To make both bottles feel like viable options without being too oppressive, we've adjusted the values of their most impactful qualities to strike a balance between pre-values and live values. Unknown. Increase the additional time added to weakened when a survivor... added the additional time added to weakened when injured by a UVX projectile. Increase the movement speed recovery after teleporting. Increase camera vertical range. Adjusted several... So they buffed an already like top tier. Additional time added to weakened when injured. Yeah, so they say weakened for a bit longer, so you have more time to hit them again. Yes, this is just buffs. The Unknown is largely considered to be fun to play as and against. Right. So why didn't you leave him then? I'm very confused. The Unknown is largely considered to be fun to play as and against. So let's buff him to then maybe make survivors cry about him, and then he won't be fun. I don't get this sentence. If they're largely considered to be fun to play as and against, why do you need to change them? It's a weird sentence. And we want to preserve that while adapting to the current state of gameplay. Oh, it's because they know how ridiculous shit's getting. It's not going to matter, devs. They're going to gen rush. You don't get it, do you? You don't get it. It's fine. We've buffed the UVX slightly, while also taking what we learned from the animatronic to allow for orbitals, improving UVX aiming and making it even more fun gameplay. We've also it's also likely no surprise that Blurry Photo is the most used add-on for the Unknown, given the importance of speed recovery. To help create an opportunity for more add-on experimentation, we've converted a portion of this add-on into base kit buff, while also doing a pass on other add-ons that are due for some adjustments. Okay. They're going to nerf Dark Lord, though, which is going to be weird because, once again, they've overall nerfed all killers with this change. So, like, yeah. Slightly reduced Hellfire cooldown. Oh, buff. Increased total Hellfire pillars by 1. Big buff. Reduced Hellfire charge movement speed. Reduced Hellfire charge movement speed. Okay. With that, are they saying that they've made him go reduced, like, slower? Is that what they're saying? Reduced Hellfire charge movement speed. Oh, okay, so that's enough. Slightly increased slowdown time after casting Hellfire. Yikes, okay, I see. Quite big nerfs to Hellfire. The slightly reduced Hellfire cooldown, if it's like a second or something, it's probably not going to do anything. It's probably like half a second. The Hellfire pillar by 1's quite big, I'd say. Oh, it's okay. But the movement speed and the slowdown could be quite big hits. I guess we'll see. Increased pounce attack charge time. Yikes. Okay, by how much? Increased scent orb spawn time. Yikes. That's a big nerf to Wolf. Dependent on numbers. But just in general, that's like 2 really important things for Wolf. Wolf. Okay. Platform. Increased movement friction to make flying easier to control. Okay. Vampire form is slightly less oppressive in short loops, where movement slowdown had less of an impact, and toning down the wolf's form mobility, which has been outclassed in some dash killers. On the flip side, you'll find the bat form easy to control in tight spaces and can use Hellfire slightly more frequently. Okay. When grabbing a survivor on the other side of a vault with Kangaroo Leap, the survivor is released at the start of the ghoul's vault instead of at the end. Okay, so they've wait. Wait. Have they got rid of his anti-loop? So now he's just basically a catch up and hit them out positioned killer. What is kidnap tech? Are you just talking about going over a vault or going over a window, which I just thought was just a normal mechanic of him, not tech? And people just call it tech for some reason. Is that what you were on about when you said kidnap tech? Because I just thought that was just a normal mechanic. Like just an obvious mechanic. When you're at each side of the vault, you hit your power, he no longer gets stunned. Wait, what? When you grab someone for the mark, for the injure animation, but it cancels the injure animation and you vault onto them while they're held in place. Ah, okay. So it's something a bit different. People call it tech. It says in range leap over a pallet. You're saying 2 things now. One of them sounds kind of like a bug. And then the other one just sounds like an intended mechanic. It was, you couldn't do anything against it. Yeah, it just sounds stupid. I think this is actually the other thing though, guys. I think this is when you vault over a pallet. The survivor's going to be able to run faster, which is going to allow them to get to the pallet again before you can hit them. So Ghoul, if it is what I think it is, Ghoul is literally just going to be catch them out positioned and then hit them, killer. Soul Secret, that's been common pain point for survivors. To be locked in place when hit with Kanguin Leap grab attack across a vault. Survivors shouldn't have to wait for it. The Ghoul to finish their vault before being able to move again, so we've removed this tech. Okay, so maybe it is that kidnap tech you were talking about. Hooker Survivor now spawns more blood orbs. Yeah. And then perk updates, updated various perks. In addition to the general perk balance updates, you can expect each release. We've also made a number of adjustments to account for the new systems coming to DVD. This update specifically relating to slugging and tunneling. Yep. Stay tuned next Tuesday for the PTB live balance preview on Discord, where we'll dig into the details of these perk changes and then follow that with the patch notes. Live balance preview on Discord. Do they usually do that? Or is that like something new? That Discord's a cesspool from what I've heard. That's something they're doing for a little bit, is it? Oh. How excited am I to play Killer? Well, I play Survivor mainly now. Like, when you give me builds for Killer, you know, whatever. But DBD is a Survivor game now. It means only creators they want will test the update. Or is that what they're doing? Peanuts and Mandy. Oof. Okay. That didn't happen on your end. No, I think it was on yours, Cooper. There you go. I reacted to the patch notes. Insane. Yeah, I mean, rip Killer, right? You are basically the new handhold for the survivors. Devs have been the handholders for a while, and they continue to do it. And now you as Killer have to take your turn and handhold. You need to make sure you don't hook and kill someone before 6 hook states. And you need to make sure you don't kill someone who you last went after, which can randomly happen, by the way. You're allowed the changes. Yeah, a majority will. I think the only good thing in this whole thing
Fuck yeah!
is this thing I said like years ago. Have to complete a unique hook. Killers get a benefit. They get like some perk, so it incentivizes healthier play. Something I said ages ago, and then, you know, balance the game around hooks, not kills. Wow. Well, there you go, guys. We reacted to that at the end of the stream. Went on a bit longer. But yeah, that was a crazy one. Wow, I was doing that for like an hour. Remember to like if you enjoyed, and tell me in the comments what you think about this patch.